They told you to use heart-healthy oils. They told you vegetable oil was better than butter. They told you to stop using animal fat and switch to seed oils. But they never told you what those oils actually do to the human body. Behind every fried food, every chip, every restaurant meal, and almost every item in your pantry is a substance so inflammatory, so toxic, and so heavily processed. It's been linked to everything from obesity to cancer to neurological disease. And the worst part, they sold it to you as healthy. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a billion-dollar lie built into the American food system. And it's killing people quietly meal after meal, day after day. At Next Level Studios, we've exposed diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, and more. But none of it means anything if we don't talk about what's actually fueling the disease from the inside. Seed oils like canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, and safflower oil are in nearly everything. And most people don't even know how they're made. They're not pressed like olive oil. They're chemically extracted using high heat and industrial solvents. They're then bleached, deodorized, and shipped to your local grocery store where they're sold as safe. But this isn't food. It's industrial waste with a label, and the more you eat it, the more it eats away at your health. It's time to expose what they've buried for decades, because seed oils aren't just bad. They are the foundation of modern disease. To understand the danger of seed oils, you have to understand how unnatural they really are. These oils don't come from olives or avocados or coconuts. They come from seeds that were never meant to be a source of cooking fat. Canola, corn, soy, cottonseed, sunflower, safflower, and tiny seeds that barely yield any oil unless they're blasted with heat, pressure, and a chemical solvent called hexane. Hexane is a petroleum byproduct. It's used to strip oil out of seeds on an industrial level. The result? A gray, foamy, rancid-smelling liquid that has to be refined with bleach and deodorized with artificial fragrances just to make it edible. That's what's in your pantry. That's what's in your favorite healthy snacks. That's what restaurants are deep frying your food in. This process creates oxidized fats and toxic byproducts like aldehydes, which trigger inflammation, damage your cells, and age your body from the inside out. Now imagine eating that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. The government knows, the food industry knows, the medical system knows, but no one's saying a word because this poison is profitable. Seed oils are cheap to produce, long-lasting on shelves, and used in nearly every processed food on the market. That means the companies who make them, the corporations who sell them, and the hospitals who treat the damage all get paid. Meanwhile, your body breaks down in silence. You feel tired, you gain weight, you develop chronic inflammation, and no one tells you the real cause. They blame you, not the oil they put in everything you eat. Let's talk about what seed oils actually do to your body once they're inside. The fats in seed oils are called omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs. Your body needs a small amount of omega-6, but the modern diet is drowning in it. Decades ago, we had a healthy balance of omega-6 to omega-3. Today, that balance is completely broken. We're consuming 20 to 50 times more omega-6 than our ancestors did. And that imbalance triggers chronic inflammation, the kind linked to nearly every major disease you can name. Heart disease, diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's, cancer. When these oils break down in your body, they don't just get stored, they get oxidized. That means they create toxic compounds that damage your cells, your arteries, and even your DNA. This is how people are getting sick without knowing why. You're eating low fat, you're avoiding sugar, you're counting calories, but your cells are still inflamed. Because the oil you're cooking with is lighting a fire inside your body. And here's what almost nobody knows. These oils store in your fat cells and stay in your body for months. They're not just passing through, they're building up. They alter the makeup of your cells. They change your metabolism. They slow down your recovery from exercise and injury. They even affect your mental health because chronic inflammation affects the brain too. This is not about moderation. This is about elimination. Because there is no safe amount of oxidized industrial oil. And the worst part, Even the healthy options are lying to you. Walk into any grocery store and look at the labels. Heart healthy, made with sunflower oil, zero trans fat. It all sounds clean, safe, and approved, but none of it means what you think it does. The truth is, the food industry has spent decades rebranding seed oils to sound healthy, and they've used trusted institutions to do it. In the 1950s, the American Heart Association began recommending vegetable oils over animal fats. Not because the science proved they were better, but because corporate money funded the studies that made it look that way. It was never about health, it was about marketing. They blamed heart disease on saturated fat and cholesterol while hiding the truth about seed oils. Even though countries that eat more saturated fat have lower rates of heart disease, they told us butter was dangerous, while pushing canola oil into every kitchen. And now we're living the results. America is one of the sickest nations in the world, with more obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and heart disease than ever before. And yet the food pyramid hasn't changed. The hospital food hasn't changed. The school lunches haven't changed. Why? Because seed oils are still cheap, still shelf-stable, still profitable. And as long as they're in everything from crackers to salad dressings to plant-based meats, we'll keep getting sicker while they keep getting richer. The system will tell you to eat less meat, eat more grains, and cook with vegetable oil. But ask yourself this: have we gotten healthier or just more obedient? Let's break down the biggest lie of all, that vegetable oil is made from vegetables. It's not. There are no vegetables in vegetable oil. No broccoli, no carrots, no spinach. It's a marketing term to disguise what it really is: refined seed oil made from crops like soy, corn, cottonseed, and rapeseed. And here's what they never told you. Some of those seeds were never meant for human consumption in the first place. Take cottonseed oil, for example. Cotton isn't classified as a food crop, but manufacturers found a way to extract oil from cotton seeds, chemically refine it, and sell it to the public without having to follow food crop regulations. That means fewer rules, less testing, more toxins slipping through the cracks. And once that door opened, the rest followed. Now we've got canola oil, originally created as an industrial lubricant. Soybean oil, now genetically modified and refined with heavy metals. Corn oil, loaded with omega-6 and stripped of nutrients. All of it is being promoted as safe, clean, and even organic. But just because something says organic doesn't mean it's healthy. It just means it was grown under certain conditions. It doesn't change the fact that it's still highly processed, oxidized, inflammatory oil. And most people aren't just consuming it, they're bathing in it. It's in your skincare, your baby formula, your supplements. Even some toothpaste brands sneak in derivatives of these oils. They've taken over everything, because it's not just about feeding you, it's about owning your body from the inside out. Here's where it gets even darker. The rise of seed oils in our food supply directly lines up with the rise of chronic disease in America. Before 1900, seed oils didn't exist in the average person's diet. People cooked with butter, tallow, lard, coconut oil, fats that were stable, real, natural. Then came the industrial era. Manufacturers had waste products, cheap byproducts from cotton and soy, and they needed to monetize them. The solution? Market them as food. It started with Crisco in 1911, a hydrogenated cottonseed oil originally developed as a candle wax alternative. But thanks to clever advertising, it became a household name. Soon after, margarine replaced butter, vegetable oil replaced animal fat, and the American kitchen was hijacked without anyone noticing. By the 1950s and 60s, seed oils were in everything, and slowly heart disease became the #1 killer. Cancer rates climbed, obesity exploded. Children were diagnosed with diseases that never used to exist. Coincidence? Not a chance. The timeline matches perfectly. As seed oil consumption rose, so did disease. And yet, no one pointed to the food supply, because the people funding the food guidelines were the same people selling the poison. This wasn't just a health crisis. It was a coordinated shift in control. Control the oils, and you control the inflammation. Control the inflammation, and you control disease. Control disease, and you control the customer for life. And just like that, a nation of healthy, self-reliant people became a nation of sick, dependent, obedient ones. This wasn't just a change in diet. It was the beginning of a slow, silent war. You might be wondering if seed oils are this dangerous. Why aren't doctors warning people? Why aren't nutritionists sounding the alarm? Why isn't it plastered across every health website and school textbook? Because the system isn't built to tell you the truth. It's built to protect itself. Doctors are trained to treat symptoms, not question ingredients. Medical schools don't focus on nutrition. They're funded by pharmaceutical companies, not organic farms. And the FDA, it's not an independent body. It's deeply connected to the industries it's supposed to regulate. Many of the same people who approve food ingredients go on to work for the very companies they once oversaw. That's not regulation. That's a revolving door. Meanwhile, the American Heart Association still promotes canola oil. Hospitals still serve margarine. School lunches still fry food in soybean oil. Even baby food is made with inflammatory seed fats because there's too much money tied up in the lie. If they admit seed oils are toxic, it opens the door to lawsuits. It undermines decades of science, and it forces them to take responsibility for the health crisis they helped create. So instead, they stay quiet. They blame the patient, and they keep feeding you poison with a smile. You'll be told to take medication for your high blood pressure, to lose weight, to exercise more. But no one will tell you the real reason you're inflamed, fatigued, anxious, or gaining fat. Because if they told you the truth, you might stop buying what they're selling, and they can't afford that. The effects of seed oils go far beyond weight gain or heart problems. These oils are deeply connected to your brain, hormones, and mood. Studies have linked high seed oil intake to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and even cognitive decline. That's because the brain is made mostly of fat, and when you fill it with the wrong kind, you're not just changing how you think, you're changing what your brain is made of. Oxidized fats cause damage at the cellular level. They weaken your mitochondria, your body's energy engines. They disrupt your hormone balance. They even increase your body's resistance to leptin, the hormone that tells you when to stop eating. That's right. These oils can literally make you hungrier, which is great for food companies, but deadly for your health. And it doesn't stop there. There's growing evidence that seed oils affect fertility. They can alter sperm quality in men. They can affect ovulation in women. And they create an inflammatory environment that can lead to miscarriage, hormonal imbalance, and reproductive issues, especially when combined with other toxins in the food supply. All while people are told they just have bad genes or bad luck. The truth, it's not just genetics, it's not just age, it's the fuel you're running on. Your body was never designed to process these synthetic oils. It was designed to run on real fat, natural, stable, nourishing. But when the system replaces your fuel with fire, don't be surprised when your health goes up in smoke. You're not just eating seed oils, you're wearing them, bathing in them, feeding them to your children. Because it's not just food that's been hijacked. It's everything. Check the label on your favorite lotion, body wash, or face cream. You'll see canola, soybean, or sunflower oil listed proudly. But your skin is an organ. It absorbs what you put on it. And every day, you're unknowingly rubbing industrial byproducts into your bloodstream. The same goes for cosmetics. Many makeup products use hydrogenated oils as a base. Lipsticks, foundations, baby lotions loaded with synthetic fats and chemical stabilizers. Even supplements are affected. Fish oil capsules are sometimes cut with soybean oil. Vitamin D drops, often suspended in seed oil carriers. And the most heartbreaking part, it starts early. Baby formulas and toddler snacks are full of these same oils. Kids are growing up inflamed before they can even speak. And by the time they hit their teens, they're already dealing with weight issues, acne, brain fog, and metabolic problems. But no one links it back to the oil. They blame sugar. They blame screen time. They blame the parents. But behind all the surface-level blame is a silent chemical takeover. A takeover that's affected multiple generations and created a baseline level of sickness that now feels normal. But being bloated, tired, anxious, and inflamed was never normal. It was manufactured. And the more you accept it, the more they profit. Now that you know the truth, what do you do about it? The first step is awareness. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll walk into a store and recognize the poison on every shelf. You'll realize that healthy dressings, protein bars, snacks, and shakes are built on a toxic foundation. So here is what to do. Read every label. If it says canola, soybean, sunflower, safflower, or vegetable oil, put it back. Cook at home. Use real fats like extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, ghee, coconut oil, and avocado oil. These fats are stable, nourishing, and what your body was designed to use. Stop trusting marketing labels. Organic, plant-based, cholesterol-free, and heart-healthy, well, mean nothing when the core ingredient is inflammatory junk. Avoid processed foods. If it has a long shelf life, a long list of ingredients, and came in a box or bag, there's a high chance it's hiding seed oils. And if you eat out, assume the worst. Almost every restaurant, fast food chain, and meal prep company cooks with cheap seed oils. Even high-end places use blends that include canola or soybean oil to save money. This isn't about perfection, it's about protection. Because every time you remove these oils from your life, you lower your inflammation. You boost your energy. You take control back from the system that profits off your sickness. This isn't just about food, it's about freedom. The system doesn't care about your health. It cares about your compliance. And seed oils are one of its greatest tools. They weaken your body, they dull your mind, they create a constant, low-grade suffering that you can't quite explain. And they do it so gradually, you don't even realize it's happening. You go to the doctor for fatigue, you leave with pills. You go in for joint pain, you leave with injections. You show signs of metabolic syndrome, and instead of asking what's fueling the inflammation, they write it off as genetics, or age, or just the way life is now. But that's not life. That's chemical dependency, engineered through food. And it doesn't just affect individuals. It's shaping entire generations. Children raised on seed oils are struggling to focus, to learn, to self-regulate. Their bodies are inflamed. Their brains are under attack. And no one is talking about it. Because if the public ever truly understood what seed oils were doing, they'd reject the entire industrial food system overnight. Grocery store shelves would have to be cleared. Major brands would collapse. Fast food chains would fall apart. So instead, the truth is buried, and people stay trapped in a cycle of symptoms, pills, diets, and shame. But you're not powerless. You're just uninformed. Until now. Because now you know how deep it runs. Now you've seen what they tried to hide. And now you have a decision to make: keep eating what they gave you, or start reclaiming what they took. This wasn't just about food. This was about control. They didn't just feed you poison. They convinced you it was fuel. They didn't just change your diet. They rewired your body, your brain, your energy, your emotions. And while you blamed yourself, they cashed in. But it stops here, because now you know what seed oils really are. You know how they're made. You know what they do. You know who profits from your pain. And you know how to fight back one decision at a time. Every label you read, every ingredient you reject, every meal you make for yourself or your family, it all matters. You're not crazy for questioning the system. You're not extreme for wanting better. You're not alone. Millions of people are waking up to this exact truth right now because the world is sick, but the sickness is manufactured. And if it was manufactured, then it can be reversed. Your healing starts when you stop feeding the machine and start feeding your body what it was built to thrive on. Natural fats, whole foods, real nourishment. You have the power to change your life, and you have the responsibility to protect the next generation. Because this isn't just about you. It's about everyone who eats what you cook, shops where you shop, and trusts what you teach. The truth about seed oils has been buried long enough. This was just the first episode in the Poisoning of the People series. Next, we're exposing the truth about fluoride in your water and what it's really doing to your brain. Click for the next video.